Welcome to the lightning round.
Welcome.
Hello, and welcome to the weekend show. It's episode 33. It is week 43 in this this jackass's world, also known as the 46th Quadrennial Hunger Games. Woohoo! All right, so let's talk about all things Kyle Rittenhouse. That's what the show's going to be about today. I'm going to try and keep it to half an hour. It's my goal. It's good to have goals. So, Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted of the murder. Oh, for the love of God, hold on. Okay, so he's acquitted on 5 counts. The 6th count was dismissed because he was not illegally possessing a firearm given his age. But that's what, the media doesn't want to tell you that. The media did not tell you that his gun was legal, that it was already in Kenosha at his dad's house. He did not carry it over state lines, because that would have been illegal. Kyle knew that would have been illegal. His father knew that would have been illegal, so they kept it at Kyle's dad's house. His mom and Kyle, it seems, parents are divorced. Kyle spends his time at both houses. The mom lives in a suburb or another town just over the state line in Illinois. Nothing about any of that was illegal. The barrel length, the type of gun, people freaking out. Oh my God, he had an AR-15! Guess what? He wasn't old enough to have a pistol. So what do you get? You get an AR-15. Sawed-off shotguns, illegal. So you people out there, not you people, I'm sure you people that are listening to this, you're not sitting at home clutching your pearls for poor little Kyle being led astray by his redneck dad who's giving him an AR-15, and, media doesn't want to cover that. Why? Because it doesn't fit their narrative. All right, so there's problem number 1. 1 and 2. The gun was not taken over state lines, and the gun was legal per Wisconsin law. Therefore, the gun charge was dropped right there at trial. Boom! So he's down to 5 charges, 2 of them for murder, attempted murder. But funny, murder is not funny. The death of somebody is not funny. The fact that he had to even go to trial is funny. Because if you knew anything about firearms, and this is why I'm a little... I'm not a fan of, I don't know, what Ohio is doing, because they took the training aspect out of the concealed carry license. I think training is important. And I think that if you're going to go for a concealed carry license, you should have some training. But that's not Rittenhouse. He's not old enough to have a concealed carry license because he's not old enough to buy a pistol. You get to be 21 to have a pistol in the United States of America. So he had an AR-15. But why was he in Kenosha? That's the other ginned up leftist mainstream media bullshit. He should have never been there. What? Bullshit. And I know it's bullshit because his dad lives in Kenosha. He came to Kenosha the day before all this happened to help clean up damage and graffiti from his family's gas station. He had every right to be there. You know who shouldn't have been there? People that drove in, flew in from Portland and Seattle for the express purpose of looting, of damaging, of burning, of causing chaos and mayhem. I saw it in Columbus when they had their little quote-unquote, I'm flashing air quotes right now, people, peaceful protest. Bullshit. If you're going to have a peaceful protest, businesses shouldn't have had to put up 3/4-inch plywood over all their windows. It wasn't a peaceful protest. Nothing that happened last summer was about peaceful protesting. It was all about, I got to get mine. And Kyle was in Kenosha to try and protect friend and family assets. He had every right to be there. The protesters that didn't live there didn't have a right to be there. You want to protest? Go protest in your own city. But I'll tell you what happened in Columbus, and I know what happened in Wisconsin. They literally found and arrested Antifa members that drove a bus into downtown Columbus, and it was loaded with weapons and riot gear. Sure, they're here to peacefully protest. Bullshit. Not in Kenosha, not in Columbus, not in any city that had one of these BLM peaceful marches and protests. Hands up, don't shoot, I can't breathe. All of it. Lies and bullshit. The good news is people are starting to wake up. And the Kyle Rittenhouse case is case in point. Because the media got damn near every single aspect and element of this case and this trial wrong. Oh, Kyle was spotted in a bar where young boys were eating. Guess what, young boys? I don't understand how young boys can be a white supremacist group when the leader of the young boys is black. But that's their narrative now. If they don't like you and your politics and you're black, they have gone, they've pivoted from calling you Uncle Tom to now you're just the black face of white supremacy. They actually say this shit. And they believe it. They say this kind of garbage on their broadcasts. It's absolutely ridiculous. And people are starting to wake up. They're saying to themselves, whoa, 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 whoa. You're telling me that a Jamaican immigrant who served the United States as a member of the United States Marine Corps gets elected as the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, and your first instinct is to say she's the black face of white supremacy. Black people are waking up. and they're realizing that they've been bamboozled. Thank God. People are finally, it shouldn't have taken this long. The left is incapable of telling the truth. It just drives me nuts. So, the firearm was legal. It was not transported over state lines. Kyle was legally in possession of it. Kyle was in Kenosha for just cause. That's kind of the bulk of what media hysteria is all about. Then the next point. Well, he shouldn't have had that weapon. Having that weapon was just inviting trouble. No. That's like blaming a woman for getting raped because she's dressed sexy. Is that what we're doing now? We're not going to put the onus on the rapist? We're going to blame the woman. Oh, you got raped because you were dressed, too sexy. You were showing too much skin. It wasn't modest enough. You should have been wearing a burqa. Guess what? Women wearing burqas get raped too. Idiots. So Kyle's out there protecting a gas station when one of these yahoos, Joseph Rosenbaum, Anthony Huber. So Joseph Rosenbaum is 36 years old. He lights a dumpster on fire and rolls it toward the gas station so the gas station will explode. Rosenbaum is a convicted child rapist. Maybe he was rehabilitated, but I doubt it. He's the first one to get shot. Why? Well, based off of the FBI drone footage, he can be seen fighting with Kyle and trying to take Kyle's weapon from him. One can only assume he was trying to take the weapon so he could shoot Kyle. Kyle shot him first. Hearing that, seeing that, Anthony Huber, 27, our little skater punk, he comes after Kyle and uses his skateboard as a deadly weapon and proceeds to start beating Kyle about the back and head. It's all on video from the FBI. But the left does not care because it goes against their narrative. Kyle's a white supremacist. No, he wasn't. Nobody knew Kyle's politics until Kyle was acquitted and came out and said, I support BLM. Nobody knew that until this week. But they wanted to jump to so many conclusions. So Anthony Huber, he's beating Kyle with a skateboard. Guess what? Kyle is fearing for his life. Kyle shoots Anthony Huber. It's all on videotape. All on captured by the FBI drone camera footage. Why was this brought to trial? Why? I'll tell you. Well, you can guess. My theory is the only reason it was brought to trial is because anything and everything associated with the left and their race game, their race hustle, their race politics, anything associated with the peaceful protesters and a white person, the white person has to be bad. Unless it's a mom, it's a woman. White women seem to be getting quite vocal about some of this stuff. Little feminazis and these coffee shop West Coast hoodlums, Antifa. Just unbelievable the amount of crap that this kid had to endure and that the left was trying to peddle. Kyle's stated purpose was to render aid when possible and try and help protect Kenosha businesses downtown that belong to friends and family. When he attempts to stop some of the violence by keeping a dumpster fire from reaching the gas pumps and blowing up the station and killing how many hundreds or tens, even one life because of this dipshit. He was beaten for it. Tried to take his weapon. The guy got killed. Up until that point, I don't believe any shots have been fired and people have been wounded in these peaceful protests. But now there's a guy dead in the street. Another person sees it, begins beating Kyle. He's dead. Another person sees that. All this is being videoed by the FBI and a field reporter that has been trailing Kyle and talking to Kyle and other members of a resistance element of sorts that are trying to help protect businesses. They're being interviewed when all of this goes down. The reporter sees it. The DA does not care. They are going to charge Kyle, come hell or high water, because of the politics of the situation. Third person sees it. He's actually armed with a pistol. The problem is he's actually in violation of Wisconsin law because his concealed carry permit is expired. So you got Kyle being assaulted by two different people, fearing for his life, defending himself. He actually followed Wisconsin law and tried to flee. What happened when he fled? When he was trying to defuse the situation by not staying in that location. He was chased. He was chased by Rosenbaum. Tried to steal his weapon. He was chased by Anthony Huber. Beaten with a skateboard. Now he's being chased again. Actually, he's kind of on the ground. When the third guy comes up, Gage Grosskreutz, he shows up with an illegal firearm and points it at Kyle. So Kyle now has been beaten with fists and feet by the first guy, Joseph Rosenbaum, the child rapist. Then shoots him. He gets beaten again by a skateboard by Anthony Huber, who has several previous assault charges against him. These guys were so good. They were just fine, upstanding men. Bullshit. Another media lie. They want you to think these guys were going up for sainthood. They weren't. They were criminals. They were convicted criminals. And they were out there for the express purpose of causing chaos, havoc, and mayhem. And they were getting pretty good at it. And they were stopped by Kyle. They didn't like being stopped. So they tried to beat Kyle. Kyle shoots both of them. The third guy, Gage, Kyle's on the ground. Kyle comes up. Some say they heard Gage say, "I'm going to kill you." Some say it was said multiple times toward Kyle by all three men. Kyle, not waiting for the weapon to come level to put a bullet in him, quickly gets the AR-15 up and fires a shot, blowing off Gage's bicep, thereby saving his own life. But the media doesn't want you to know that. The media refused to watch the trial. Oh, it's a slam dunk case. He should be convicted, no problem. He killed 2 men, shot a third. He's white. The media would have you believe that the people that he killed were black. They weren't. They were just as pale as Kyle. White on white crime. I would say the other 3 whites shouldn't have been there. I believe only one of them was local. I don't know which one. I think Gage was actually local, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that's the trial. All of it. All of this stuff came out. Gage actually on the stand admitted in court. Oh, Kyle never pointed his weapon at me. No, not until I pointed my pistol at him. Then he shot me. That's what he said on the stand. And the things that took place during the trial that the district attorney tried to get away with and to say were ridiculous and the exact opposite of what's in the Constitution and what the Second Amendment actually means. All of it was absolutely ridiculous. Now, you've got the left fomenting the fact that Kyle got acquitted. To the point where they're protesting again. They're protesting in downtown Chicago. They're protesting in Wisconsin. There's a guy who was so upset about the Rittenhouse trial and acquittal that he drove an SUV into a Christmas parade, killing 5 and sending 40 to the hospital. He's black. It's 10 times worse than what happened in Charlottesville. And the media won't cover it. Why? Because he's black. Because the people he killed were white. And his rage was justified because Kyle got away with murder, they said. He's a BLM activist. It's all over his social media. Media won't report it. That's how sick these people have become. They don't agree with something, burn it down. Didn't go my way, fucking kill them. It's ridiculous. Now you got Jesse Jackson. One of the race-baiting pair of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. Jesse Jackson's up in Chicago. And they're out there protesting the Rittenhouse acquittal, demanding communist revolution. The only solution is communist revolution. That's what they're saying. That's what they're doing. Rittenhouse, guilty, guilty, guilty. No fascist USA. Organize now for real revolution. Another banner said, end the Trump era. Unfreaking believable. Some of these people. So you got a white kid shoots 3 white men who were protesting, carrying firearms illegally, beating him. He shoots all 3, kills 2. But that's white supremacy. That's the Trump era. The summer of rage is what some people call last summer of 2020. And it is beyond the pale of ridiculous because people are having their emotions toyed with by a media that has an agenda, that is blatantly lying to them to fuel said agenda. Every single one of those riots during their summer of rage was the direct result of the media and their zeal to promote their agenda that America is racist. Therefore, they are free to type and speak and say and do whatever they want as long as it progresses their agenda that America is racist at its heart. So every single one of these people that were killed by a cop, the media would have you believe that this is a daily occurrence in every city in the country. The police are just running around, oh, there's the one we're going to shoot today. No. Of all the police interactions, death by cop with the victim being a black man is infinitesimally small. But the media won't tell you that. Though, God forbid, they go look at FBI crime statistics. So, what do they see? They see a white kid, kills 3 people. Oh, how long? I don't know how long it went on, but the media actually reported that Kyle killed 3 black men. They did. Kyle Rittenhouse is about to become a very, very, very wealthy man from all of the various libel suits. Even, I think, the installed dipshit in the White House defamed Kyle before he was the installed dipshit and he was a private citizen. He should pay up. Well, you can't sue the President of the United States. Yeah, you can. Especially when he said Kyle was a white supremacist, said a bunch of other crazy crap, just like he always does. He was a private citizen. Hell yeah, he can get sued. Sue the hell out of that bastard. But the one thing, I'll end it with this. So, Maria Shriver, who is a Kennedy, she was stupid enough to put her screed up on Twitter for everybody to see. She actually tweeted out on the 19th. So, just this week. No, last week. I'm trying to take a beat to digest the Rittenhouse verdict. My son just asked me how it's possible that he didn't get charged for anything. How is that possible? I don't have an answer for him. The idea that someone could be out with a semi-automatic weapon, kill people, and walk is stunning. I look forward to hearing from the jury. This is a moment for them to explain how they came to their decision. This is the screed that a Kennedy put out there. Mrs. Schwarzenegger, number 1. So apparently she's having this conversation. She doesn't know what to say to her sons, even though her sons are 24 and 28 years old. Sure, you had that conversation. Trying to take a beat to digest the Rittenhouse verdict. Apparently you didn't see the trial. Because if you did, you'd have understood. But you gotta love Ted Cruz. I love Ted Cruz. I think Ted Cruz, he was my guy. In 2016, I wanted Ted Cruz. But we didn't get that. But Ted Cruz sees this little, I'm just trying to take a beat, tweet from supposed journalist in Maria Shriver. Ted Cruz responds. And this is where we're going to end the show. Ted Cruz responds, pretty stunning that she's an NBC anchor. She doesn't have an answer. Try this. Number 1, he was charged with 6 counts. That thing that just finished was his trial. Number 2, a jury of his peers found him not guilty. Number 3, why? The defense argued he was engaged in self-defense. Number 4, what facts support self-defense? The 3 people shot all chased him, assaulted him, and or tried to grab his gun. All 3 were convicted felons and served, one of them, for 15 years for child molestation. Number 5. You might personally disagree, but the jury heard evidence and presumably concluded he was acting to defend himself from what he reasonably perceived to be an imminent threat to his life. Number 6. Also, all 3 of the people shot were white, contrary to false media reports. Number 7. Generally, white supremacists don't shoot white people. Number 8. Numerous Dem politicians and corporate media outlets, including your employer, recklessly alleged he was a white supremacist. That's where Kyle's going to get paid. Show me the cheddar! Number 9. No evidence was introduced at trial to support that claim that he was a white supremacist. Number 10. A whole bunch of those corrupt media outlets are now retaining defamation lawyers because they are all about to get sued, and the liability could well be massive. There you have it. The media lied. To sum up, the media lied. The media had lied from the moment those 3 men hit the ground. They started trying to spin this in every direction possible to make Kyle look like a white supremacist, to make Kyle look like he killed people out of malice, that the weapon was a weapon of war because it was one of those scary black guns that they don't seem to understand how it functions. They just don't like the way it looks. It looks like an M16, therefore it must be. And they're selling that to the general public. No, it's not an M16. You're an idiot. At every turn, some idiot, actor, pundit, politician, doesn't matter. They all got it wrong. They all were being fed the same lies and the same crap. And they're all culpable. And they're all going to pay up. Because Kyle is going to sue the shit out of all of them. Just like the kid in Covington. They libeled him repeatedly, non-stop, on their 24-hour news cycle. And they paid up to the tune of about $250 million. This Kyle Rittenhouse deal, he's going to just basically say, hold my beer. Because, damn. The stuff they did to the Covington kid was pretty damn heinous. The stuff they did to Rittenhouse was 10 times worse. It's just... Well, that's Rittenhouse. We will be back next week with two new shows. We'll have a preparedness episode midweek. And we'll have more of the He Who Shall Not Be Named jackassery on the weekend. I'm pre-recording this so I can have some peace and quiet before the family gets here for Thanksgiving. So I hope you have a good Thanksgiving. You enjoy some quality time with friends and family and enjoy the time off and reconnect. God bless, and we will talk again next week. Bye-bye.
Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor.